I've turned a freaking eBay lip into a functional freaking Aero that I can kind of... Well guys, we're making a mess. Today we are going to find out if we could take this cheap eBay lip and actually make it into something functional. This is the 06 to 08 350Z bumper. Can we attach this lip and maybe retrofit, do some add-ons, some bolt-ons, something to it to actually make this bumper more, not aerodynamic, but more functionally in a perspective of just aerodynamics or fluid. What is it? What is it? I can't think of it right now, but so we line up the center first and then we tuck in the ends. All right, and I'm going to put tape all around this top edge because, as I said, I want it to be functional Aero, not just for looks or anything like that. We have a good bit of lip here, probably about 2 inches to, you know, as you could tell, about maybe a 3-inch gap here. Very familiar with that size. It's about 2 inches here, coming out to about 4 inches on the long point. It is cutting in. It would have been really nice if we could actually extend this out here, which of course we can with technology. But the biggest problem underneath is just going to be muddy. Underneath is going to be very muddy. So if you look, the bumper is naturally higher in the middle and then it tapers down on the ends for some reason. And with the lip kit in place, this one-handed, here we go. It kind of lines up with that bottom gap and then all here is sunken in. So we need a way to get the air coming in nice and straight. Because as of right now, it will come in and it'll just get muddy. Have a low pressure zone and it might create the drag because of the low pressure zone. We need to make sure everything's straight and flush, because here I'm going to have one of those metal shrouds that goes into the factory shroud. So we want to make sure that the air coming from the front comes and just stays clean and linear as possible. So there's a couple ways to attack this, and I'm trying to figure out which way I want to attack it. We have all this space. We have all this gap. We have here, all that. And we need to figure out a way to plate this and fill that and smooth that. The lip itself should install fairly easily. Put some tape in there, have a little tab, everything in place, pull the tape and squeeze and clamp as we go. But to figure out how I want to fill this gap is going to be a problem. A lot of autocrossers, they use ABS panels from like Home Depot and such, and that's really easy to work with. If we do one of that, we could actually extend the gap and actually go down to the middle of the subframe, and that would be perfect. That would be really perfect to just create a very big panel. But I'm afraid with the heat of the engine will warp that thin ABS. Initially, I was thinking doing a 3D print, scanning this and doing a 3D print filler to fill into here, like I said, and just create like a decent gap so it's smooth, and then use the metal shrouds as stage 1. Stage 2, we could work on a full, maybe a metal sheet. Could do a metal sheet if we scan it and design it, put this car up on a lift and scan it and make our own template. We could do that. she's on with VHB. The little clamps work great. That's keeping the pressure on this big broadside. I have this clamp here to keep this little body line attached here. So when I drill to put in the side holes, everything's perfectly lined up. Here you can see a really nice grab, really nice fitment on the lines, nice and tight all the way through. Yeah! So the kit came with like 6 of these screws. These little self-tapping kind of, I don't want to know if it's called a sheet metal class, but take your time, drill a pilot hole as you saw, and just take your time and put the screws in. 2 screws there, right there. Yeah, so I was kind of standing up there trying to decide how I could get out of putting these screws in there, but the car is more function than form. Oh, is it backwards? I mean, well, it's more race car than anything, so definitely put them in. Try to get the downforce we need, guys. We need the downforce. All the downforces and all the clean airflow. And the thinking is, instead of just filling this gap, why don't we just take it another step forward? Let me put the metal undershroud on, and then I could scan the entire assembly and maybe just come up with a full undershroud for the air. So instead of having it fill in here like initially thought, and then it would kind of slope, it would slope into the shroud, and it'll kind of wave it. Let's just create a one-piece shroud where it will tuck inside this channel, and then I'll have some standoffs on these bolts that will just bolt everything into one single plane. Because the subframe is on that same plane, I think this will work really well. In here, I gotta figure it out. So you see, through the time lapse, took a little while to get some dots on here. We got the A-sub spray. It's kind of evaporated now, so you can see the black behind. 3D scanners don't like black. We grabbed the EINSTAR VEGA from Shining 3D. I love this thing, it's all in one. I don't need to drag her on a computer. I would definitely say if you want a scanner and you have to get a computer also, just buy all in one. You could process it on your other computer, your desktops or whatever. But the concept is this low pressure zone, because of this gap, the air is going to come over here. It's going to have a low pressure, so it's going to slow down the air. This also sticks out. So I'm just going to create a big T with a short trunk. And that would just create a one panel. The air is going to come in and just keep going slick and stuff like that. The undershroud is great. The lip is great. For a passenger car, it will work fine. But for race car things, let's accelerate that air and make it as slick as possible. Let's start our computer work. Now the garage is way too hot, so let's, instead of editing it in the garage on the Vega, let's do EINSTAR's Star Vision. Go in, import the model, and start chopping all the extra portions off the scan that we don't need. Clean it up. After we clean it up, we go export it into a OBJ file and import it into Fusion. So now that we're in Fusion, here's the tricky part. First, we need to take the model and we need to kind of orient it in the 3 axes, X, Y, and Z. To do that, we kind of create some planes and we section off the model, and then we try to align it to the origin as much as possible. It's kind of tricky at times depending on the geometry of the physical object you scan, but once you get the hang of it, it's pretty quick to do. But it's very important because what we're going to do, we're going to kind of trace this 3D model and create our sketch. And our sketch is what we use to design this undershroud. I'm just going to do a half cut, and that way we could mirror the sketch and utilize that model, that sketch model, into maybe a CAD program or a laser cutting program or a CNC program and be able to cut out this under panel. Still got to figure out what we're trying to do, what material we're gonna go with, but at least the first part is getting our basic shape CAD'd out. Let's skip ahead here, kind of bypass some of the boring stuff. We got the model almost done. With the model done, we could get our DFX file, and with the DFX file, we could use that at whatever CNC machine or even at a plotter to make our template. Now, I was trying to figure out, Google back and forth, how exactly am I going to test this design? And I found this one solution with this open source program that I could technically take our flat template, our DXF file, and actually plot it across multiple pages. However, it's going to be 40 pages when it's all said and done, and each page have corner markers that we have to cut the 4 corners out and scotch tape all those 40 pages together. And I was like, yes, it's free. Found a cool way to print that large template across 40 pages. The problem that's turning me away from doing that is that each page has 4 alignment markers, so we gotta cut the whole surround and actually tape all those 40 pages together. So I'm not really looking forward to that, so I'm checking it out. I'm going to a local graphics place that we use, Graphics Effects in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Let's see if that's a more efficient solution. And check out this place. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be way better than printing out 40 pages and cutting guide markers out and taping it together.
Think that'll do it?
Yeah, that'll definitely do it. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh, got that template all cut out. Guys, so pretty much we did some CAD work off of some CAD work. Here is our new undershroud.
Myself. I got time if you want me to freeze up.
Okay, so update. First draft is really good. These line up with the shield, but it is coming out a little too much. So we're gonna have to mark a line from here to here and just curve it out. But these line up with the bumper. These whole line up with the bumper there. And this is gonna tuck into the front lip. Back here is the only thing really I'm off. These bolts are kind of a little off here, so this whole section I'm going to have to just bring it out and down a little bit. But yeah, check that out. A very huge one-piece undershroud. That should definitely clean up some air. It's going to be a real big pain in the butt though when it comes time to change the oil. And because it's a track car, we're going to be changing the oil a lot.
After a few edits and changes, I went ahead and decided to just go straight to CNC cutting. Found a place down Nashville, Aaron's the owner's name, and he had some extra material laid over. I wanted 1/8, but he had some quarter. Cut me a good deal. Speaking about cutting, let's take a look at this process.
That's pretty sick. You know, it beats using a damn saw. We have all this technology. We can meet partners like Aaron over here and just, I don't know, just do it with a computer. That's pretty awesome. Try not to get hit. But look at the eyelids right there. You can see the eyelids and stuff getting cut out. That's pretty awesome. Let me try and move out of the way. And what that is, it's called ACM, aluminum cladded ACM, AC composite material. Aluminum composite material. Had a brain fart there. Thanks, Aaron. So it has like little thin sheets of aluminum on each side and a thick composite in the middle. It may not be the best for a splitter because you need to hold it up with some big thick washes. They use it for signage, but it will work well for an undershroud. When it's time to build a splitter, I'll probably come back with Aaron with some called Alumalite or something like that, where it's a thicker sheet of aluminum each side with a honeycomb composite core that's much stronger. That's sick. We got another viewpoint up there. That's awesome. That's pretty sick. That's gonna look badass under the car. We did take a risk on not doing a second cardboard cut. Hopefully this fits 100%. Yeah, so we up by Aaron checking out some stuff. Check out that cool machine right there. But he's like, man, let's weigh this thing. This 1/4-inch ACM. My hand's gotta hold it. But yeah, round up to 17. Yeah. Oh, it's just shot. There we go. I'm moving it right now. Yeah, about 16.8, 17 pounds, yeah. All right, we got the panel at home. This is a 1/4-inch panel. I was hoping it's, well, I was planning on using an 1/8 inch. So I got some big fat washers and stuff from Ace. So it's a little heavy. I have a bunch of replacement parts. I got some brand new fender liners. RIP to the aftermarket ones that fit like shit, so the tire ate them up. I actually have a bumper reinforcement brackets. This bumper does not have any, and if we're going to do any downforces, we need to support this guy really well. Have the pins to hold it up. These Akibono bleeders. I kind of found a set of cheap Akibonos. Got some bleeders just in case. It looks like there were some leakages. These are the pins to hold the brackets onto the bumper. Hoping you can't really buy the clutch bleeder by itself. You have to buy the whole assembly. So hoping that's ladies and gentlemen. Well, before we peek, it lined up. My guesstimations, my second edit, vindicted after not actually testing. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. My goodness. Look at that. That entire area is shielded. The wheel has space. Oh yeah. That's full lock and droop. So when the car is on the ground, it should be higher up. Ah, shoot! That is amazing. Hell yeah. I don't know if this lens is wide enough to show you all. But right now, we are just bolted in by the big washers in the back. And then I have two push pins going into the bumper here and two push pins into the bumper there. And I have all these bolting points. I don't know if you can see it through in there, but it's all lining up to the bumper. To get to the undershroud as securely mounted as possible, I didn't want it flutter, I didn't want it vibrate, so I started working on stationary mounting points, you would say. All these holes here are all on the bumper, and the bumper moves, the bumper flexes. This one here is just some mud guards, but back here are the only two stationary bolt locations that's on the front subframe. Which is right here and over there. So in wanting something else that's stationary, this car previously had one of those undershrouds. So it had the nutsert in the undershroud here and there. So I created some standoffs, 3D printed them, and that's going to be like a physical block that we could sandwich and hold the middle of the undershroud really nice and tight. These four positions should stop it from fluttering and hold it really tight. You can see here better where the undershroud were. But then I used the old grease method and greased up my standoffs and just smeared it on here to actually get the physical position. Now I'm just going to have to just cut a slot on these two pieces. I do have to trim here a little bit to clear that the brace on the subframe, and then this undershroud should be finished. What I'm also going to do is I kind of put some short format reels and TikToks or some side stuff I do outside of the main video that you're watching right now. So these standoffs are for the front part of the under bumper. They will go here. And that is spaced to allow the front to allow the smooth transition from the underlip tucking in here to here. It's about 30 millimeters, so that'll be a flat, nice bolt point. You know, this thing cuts really easy. I used that step bit, drilled the two holes, and use that little jigsaw right there and just cut the 2 slots on either side. So now we, like I say, we have 4 stationary mounting points, and this is right in the middle of the whole shroud. This is perfect. This should definitely clamp it on. Also, while I had the jigsaw out, made this relief cut for that bottom. It's kind of where the jack point is, but I have all my M6 hardware, and then I have some big old washers that we're going to use. It's all coming together. I love it when a plan comes together. Laying it flat on the ground, you could definitely see how good the spacer is. So the lip sticks down, as we know, adds a dimension. But back here, you can see that on the ground too. So that's a nice flat surface. Man, that's gonna be awesome. This is a wide angle, so I gotta use this. Here we go. She's on. She's solid as heck. 14 washers. 14 freaking washers. Inside here, you can see the front finisher, I guess, or the front spacer I put in, and also the radiator spacers, the 2 of them. Everything is solid. Everything is nice and strong, man. We're not really touching anything else except the subframe, spacers, and the front. She is on there. 14 bolts. This damn thing should not shake or vibrate. But we're going to throw a camera on her, get an under view, and see if she wobbles. Stay tuned. So the proof's in the pudding. Pudding. That's a big unk moment right there. Not just the phrase, but just fumbling that shit. Anyhow, the undershroud is on. I've turned a freaking eBay lip into a functional freaking Aero that I can kind of stand on. That's wild. So I was gonna finish it with my classic logo, 3 p.m. And there's a perfect gap for this logo. I should have started a corner. I'm going to probably take 50 years. There we go. So come right here. This little spot right here is full of watermarks right now, but I think that's perfect for this logo. I guess I should have measured it. I mean, that's good, right? It's freaking crooked. God dang it. Well, I'll say while I fight to straighten this up, thanks again for watching the video. Let me know what you think in the comments about making a functional $80 lip. Until next time, guys, take it easy.